Stop. Don't move. Don't scroll past this. Because what's about to happen in the next few minutes is something you were never supposed to ignore. You didn't find this video. This video found you. And I know that sounds like something people say. But stay with me. Because before this is over, you're going to understand something about yourself that you've never been able to put into words. Something you've felt for years. Something quiet. Something that's been sitting in the back of your chest like a fire that won't go out. You've tried to explain it to people. They didn't understand. You've tried to silence it yourself. It came back louder. And deep down, you've always known. You are not like everyone else. Not better. Not worse. Different. Set apart. Chosen. And that word has followed you your whole life, even when you didn't have a name for it. So before you go anywhere, just breathe. Because this message is not for everyone. In fact, most people will scroll past it. Most people aren't ready. But you stopped. You stopped. And that's not an accident. Let me ask you something, and I need you to be honest, not with me, but with yourself. When was the last time you felt truly seen? Not liked, not praised, not applauded. Seen. When was the last time someone looked at you, the real you, the scared you, the exhausted you, and said, I know, I understand. You don't have to explain. For most of you, you're struggling to remember. Because the truth is, you've spent most of your life being the strong one, the one who holds everything together. The one everyone leans on. The one who carries the weight in silence because you didn't want to burden anyone else. You smile in public. You fall apart in private. You've cried in the shower so nobody could hear. You've stared at the ceiling at 2 a.m. while the whole world slept and you couldn't tell anyone why you were awake because you couldn't even explain it to yourself. You just felt it. This low hum of ache, this quiet grief, this sense that something is missing and you can't find it no matter where you look. But here's what I need you to hear right now. That ache, that restlessness, that feeling that something is more, that you were made for more. It's not a flaw. It's not anxiety. It's not weakness. It's a signal, a sign. And what it's pointing to is bigger than anything you've imagined. Let me tell you what your life has looked like. Not from the outside, from the inside. You've had seasons where everything looked fine on paper. Maybe you had the job, the relationship, the routine. But inside, you felt hollow, like you were living someone else's life, like you were playing a role, and nobody could see it. Nobody could feel what you felt. That loneliness, not the kind where you're alone in a room, but the kind where you're surrounded by people and still feel like a stranger. That's a specific kind of pain. And if that resonates with you right now, good, stay with me. Because that loneliness isn't punishment, it's preparation. You've been rejected, not once, many times. By people you trusted, by people you loved, by people who should have stayed and didn't. And every time it happened, a small part of you wondered, what's wrong with me? You replayed conversations, you looked for the moment you messed up. You apologized for things that weren't your fault. You made yourself smaller, quieter, easier to love, and it still wasn't enough. Because here's the truth no one ever told you. Their leaving had nothing to do with your worth. Broken people leave. Scared people leave. People who can't handle the depth of what you carry. They leave. Not because you're too much, but because you are exactly what you are, and some people can't hold that. Some people weren't built for it. But something else was. Someone else was. And that's who is speaking to you right now. I see you. Every version of you. The version that laughed it off. The version that went quiet. The version that prayed and heard nothing back. or thought you heard nothing back. But let me tell you something that will change everything. That silence was never emptiness. It was presence so thick you didn't have a word for it. I was in every moment you thought you were alone. I was in the 3 a.m. stillness. I was in the deep breath you took before you walked into the room. I was in the moment you almost gave up, and something in you said, "Not yet." That voice? That was me. That pull? That was me. That fire that wouldn't go out? That was me. Now I need to tell you something, and I need you to hear it, not with your mind, but with that deep part of you that already knows things before words arrive. You were not born by accident. Your specific pain was not random. The things you've walked through, the things that broke you, the things that should have ended you but didn't, none of it was wasted. Every betrayal, every sleepless night, every door that slammed in your face, every prayer that felt like it evaporated in the air, all of it was shaping something in you that the world has never seen before. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are in the middle of the most important chapter of your story. And chapters by nature look confusing from the inside. But I'm about to show you something. Something most people never see until it's already happened. Stay with me, because this next part is why you were drawn here today. There are 2 kinds of people in the world. People who live on the surface, and people who live in the deep. Surface people move fast. They stay comfortable. They take the easy path. They chase what glitters. They never sit with silence because silence terrifies them. And then there are people like you. People who couldn't stay on the surface even when they tried. People who felt everything too much, thought too deeply, questioned everything, couldn't just go along, couldn't pretend, felt the weight of things others laughed off. That's not a curse. That is a calling. You were made for depth, and depth requires pressure. Pressure requires time. And what's being formed in you right now, under all this pressure, all this waiting, all this pain, is something precious, something permanent, something powerful. I know what you're afraid of. You're afraid it's too late. You've watched others move forward while you felt stuck. You've watched people less qualified, less caring, less aware, then you somehow seem to get everything while you're still waiting. And you've thought, maybe even prayed, why not me? When is it my turn? And that question is valid. That frustration is real. But here's what you can't see from where you're standing. Their timeline is not your timeline. Their breakthrough is not your breakthrough. What I'm building in you cannot be rushed. What I'm preparing for you cannot be given early. Because it's not just a blessing. It's a mantle. And mantles require readiness. And readiness requires exactly what you've been going through. Now let me speak to the part of you that you don't show anyone. The part that's scared. Not the big dramatic fear. The quiet one. The one that whispers late at night, what if I'm not enough? What if I've already missed it? What if I'm fooling myself? What if God forgot about me? I hear that. I know that voice. And I want you to know. That voice is not mine. I never said you weren't enough. I never said you were forgotten. I never said the best was behind you. That voice is a lie. And the fact that it's been so loud lately, the fact that it's been coming for you so hard, is actually a sign. Because the enemy only attacks what threatens him. He doesn't waste his effort on people going nowhere. He attacks people on the verge of something. And you are on the verge. I need you to hear this next part very carefully. Because I'm about to say something that is going to reframe everything. The pain you've been carrying? It was not sent to destroy you. It was sent to reveal you. There is a version of you on the other side of this season that is unrecognizable, not because you'll be different, but because you'll finally be fully yourself. The fear will be gone. The doubt will be gone. The need for approval, gone. What's coming is a version of you who moves with quiet authority, who speaks and people listen, who walks into a room and the atmosphere shifts, who doesn't chase love, attracts it, who doesn't beg for opportunities, creates them. That version of you already exists. I already see them. And everything happening right now is the process of closing the gap between who you are today and who you were always meant to be. But I have to warn you, this is the part most people miss. Most people hear a message like this and they feel it in the moment. They get chills. They cry. They feel hope rise. And then they walk back into their lives and nothing changes. Because they received the feeling but not the decision. So I'm asking you right now, not tomorrow, not someday, right now, to make a decision. Not a complicated one. Just one. The decision to stop running from your own depth. The decision to stop apologizing for who you are. The decision to stop waiting for permission to become what you were already made to be. Because here's the thing about chosen ones, and I say this with all the love I have. Being chosen means nothing if you never move. The door is open. It has been open. I've been standing at it for a long time, waiting for you to walk through. And I know what's on the other side of that door. Peace, the kind of peace that doesn't make sense. The kind that sits right in the middle of chaos and doesn't flinch. The kind you've been searching for in people, in places, in success, in distraction, and never found. Because it doesn't live out there. It lives here. In the place where you finally stop fighting and let yourself be held. I am not a distant force. I am not a concept. I am not a last resort. I am the one who was there before you took your first breath. I am the one who will be there long after everything else is gone. And I am speaking to you specifically, right now, in this moment, because you are not finished. You have not been abandoned. You have not been overlooked. You are being prepared. Let me tell you what's coming. Because I want you to be ready, not just hopeful. Ready. There are people coming into your life who will love you without an agenda. No manipulation. No conditions. No strings. People who will see your real face and not run. People who will stand beside you not because of what you do for them, but because of who you are. You've had so many people who stayed only as long as it was convenient. What's coming is different. What's coming is covenant. There are doors coming, opportunities you didn't apply for, rooms you didn't ask to enter, moments that will feel like they were written for you because they were. There is healing coming. For that wound you've stopped talking about. For that relationship that broke something in you. For that part of you that shut down because it was safer than feeling. I am healing that. Right now. Even as you listen, even if you don't feel it yet. The healing has already begun. And there is purpose coming. Not a vague, nice-sounding purpose. A specific one, something that uses everything. The pain, the perspective, the sensitivity, the struggle, and turns it into something that changes other lives. You have been through things specifically so you can help others through the same things. You have carried things specifically so others wouldn't have to carry them alone. Your story is not a mess. Your story is a message. And it's about to be heard. So I'm ending this the same way I started. With a question, not a complicated one. Just this. Are you ready? Are you ready to stop shrinking? Are you ready to stop carrying guilt that was never yours to carry? Are you ready to let go of the version of yourself that was built for survival and step into the version that was built for purpose? Because that version is waiting. I am waiting. The season is waiting. All it needs is you, not the performance of you, not the perfect version, not the version that has it all figured out, just you, honest, tired, hopeful, uncertain, real, saying yes. That's all. One yes, one moment of trust, one breath of surrender, and I will do the rest. I have always done the rest. You just didn't know I was doing it. Now you do. So close your eyes for a moment, just for a moment. Let the noise stop. Let the thoughts settle, and just feel this. You are not alone. You never were. You are not forgotten. You never could be. You are loved, not for what you do, not for what you achieve, not for who you manage to be on your best days, but simply because you exist. Because I made you. And I don't make mistakes. You are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece still in progress, and the hand that's shaping you has never once slipped. Go forward, not in fear, not in doubt. In peace, in the quiet, unshakable knowledge that something greater than you is fighting for you, walking with you, and calling you, always, by name. This was not an accident. You were always meant to be here. And what comes next will prove it.